So now you all get to see how Ari gets in that seat.
Oh, was it recording? Right?
Yes.
Let me just say I'm proud of you for not breaking
them?
the.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot my drink. Okay, we can start and then I'll leave in the middle just because I've been leaving for all of these past 3. So gotta keep the continuity.
Yeah. On 3, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Guys.
Hi.
Oh.
Lonnie,
you said on 3
miss
guys.
You. I miss you, Lonnie. Come back. All right, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Be Uplifted. I have my 2 favorite handsome hosts right here again. You know what? We haven't introduced ourselves in a while. Should we say our names and stuff or no?
Vincent, Rich, Ari.
Lonnie.
There you go.
There you go.
Lonnie.
And
You
we
think-
are Be Uplifted.
You think when Lonnie comes back, she'll be hella rusted? It take her a while to actually get into the conversations.
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's gonna have a lot of things that she's just been building up.
Yeah, she's probably like, man, I have so much shit to say to you guys. You fucked everything up.
She's gonna have that.
Yep. That's funny.
Yep.
Okay, so welcome, as we said. Today, we're going to be talking about... Actually, I don't even know if we have an actual topic, but what sparked conversation was this new procedure that's being made available.
Wait, before that. So last episode, if we're putting these out in order, which I have no idea if we are, but if we are, the last episode we were talking about bad sex experiences, which
Right.
I noticed that you didn't say anything, or no, you did say one thing, the pencil dick. Mm-hmm. So that kind of put me at ease because I don't have that problem,
Right.
even though it's super short.
Your jailhouse pencil.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's girth that's the issue. Okay,
Girth
never-
is way more important than length. For sure.
But she was doing her studies for me. Mm-hmm. She was all like, Vince, you really got to get this procedure
okay,
done.
this is a lie. That's not how this came up.
No, but she did bring this up. And I'll let you talk about the pneumonia.
So I was asking them because, we've said this many times before, but we literally talk and then we're like, oh, that's a good subject to talk about on the podcast. So I was asking them, I almost said stream. I caught myself.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Yep.
see that?
Yeah.
Hey, growth. No, so I was like, okay, did you guys hear that there's this new procedure or new-ish procedure that's becoming more and more popular for men, which is just like a girl can get her boobs done or a BBL, a guy can now get penis enlargement done. And it's called, wait, hold on, I have it pulled up because I don't know what it's actually called. It's called Pneuma. Pneuma is the only penis enlargement surgery cleared for commercial use under the Food and Drug Administration.
Yes, I'm going to do food commercials now. Because I don't do drugs.
And for those wondering, let's drop it right now. How much does it cost?
Okay, so I'm going to read you some of the facts about it before we go into our talk. The procedure has an out-of-pocket cost of about $15,000
Lucky for me, that's already out of my pocket.
Yes.
and an upfront cost of usually of $1,000 deposit.
We'll go to collections.
My feet pics will be up soon.
So this is not covered by insurance, even if it's to treat erectile dysfunction. Damn. Okay, so they don't cover it. And I'm going to read you how this is done. Okay, so this is how it's done.
Is
The
there a YouTube
Pneuma
video?
device will be designed to fit your specific penis shape. It is inserted into your shaft over the corpus cavernosa like a sheath. This is done through an incision in your groin just above the base of your penis. Yep. The device then stretches the penis skin and tissues to make your penis look and feel larger. So I guess it says here that it can increase up to 2.5 inches. So someone that is normally 5.2 inches when erect can become 7.7, for example.
Or in my case, I could get a total of 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
And then so we were all like, okay, so what's the negatives? What are the side effects? Pretty much the same side effects as any surgery.
Child support.
Nausea, possible infection, but
Yes, blood clots.
blood clots, but nothing like out of the ordinary in any kind of surgical procedure, basically. So what are your guys' thoughts? So my first question was, would you guys ever?
It's interesting, right? Because I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to men. That's their what do you call that? That's their what am I can't even talk today.
Like their manhood, like their...
That's their one
Guys, we had KFC today. We didn't have Mikey's meals, so
our brains are not fueled
yeah.
properly.
Because I got a bunch of specials and I'm not sharing that shit. All right,
Right.
So yeah,
that's their one I still can't. You know, you guys go ahead. 'Cause
Okay,
I can't-
what are your...
I can't think
Would
right
you
now.
and what are your thoughts?
I don't think I would, just because like it's never been a factor that's held me back. Although, like,
What if you
I'm
had
sure-
erectile dysfunction? Would you do it for for that purpose?
Bitch, I'll go in soft.
Yeah, it doesn't fix erectile dysfunction though. That's the thing. It doesn't fix erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
so
that's a
you
good
just have a limp, longer version.
Oh, that's true. So would you? Would you? Would you? Would you?
You know, it would like to be honest with you, it would be an ego boost and stuff like that. But then, like I said, it's never been like a factor that's held me back from anything. You know, like
So
I
what
said,
if someone offered it to you for free? Let's say, would you take it?
Yeah,
fuck yeah, I would.
yeah.
Okay.
I would take it and show it.
Yeah, I could see that there'll be a growth of literally a growth of people joining the adult industry.
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's like you know how girls normally make more money once they get the boob job. Same with the guy. So
That's true.
you know, the thing is that, you know, like if you're already like at 11, you're 13 now, it's like you know, going from like, you know, like you have those videos where it's like the quadruple D's or F's or E's or whatever.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets scary at that point.
Right. So do you think that
Well, I want a scary dick. I don't want a girl to look at it and say it's cute.
you want her to be scared of it?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, that thing looks horrible anyway. Like girls even
Right.
say like it just does not look appealing.
Vaginas and penises are not pretty to look at. They're just nice to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, fuck, I lost my train of thought. I was going to ask a question.
No, would I get it? No, because one, I'm not. That's the one thing they're self-conscious about. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Men are
Yes,
always
okay.
self-conscious about their size because obviously they you know, especially if you're a guy that watches a shit ton of porn, you're looking at like every dick is fucking
10 inches.
10
and
inches.
shit. Mm-hmm.
But that's what they're so self-conscious about it, and I think that at some point that's like, yeah, they're gonna get it just for that, again, like that ego boost, right? For me though, I've never had a problem with it because for me it's like, you know, my size is not my problem, it's the girl's problem. So
Yeah.
you know, if you like me enough, deal with it. If you don't, well then guess what,
I'm not the guy for you.
I still got it in.
No, that's true. I still got it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think that there's like, would you like say you knew someone that got it? Would you consider that weird?
No.
No.
Same thing
So
with
it's not
boobs.
for you, but you're just kind of like not for me, but I'm not judging, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm not judging. I mean, look, so it's essentially it's like, you know, when boob jobs first became not necessarily a trend but a possibility, there are a lot of botched and horrible looking boob jobs.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what
Absolutely.
that's going to be scary. So you have this one company that's done it. That's the first one that's like approved by the FDA. You know, it's like you come up with a right angle. You know, that stuff just like
Your dick's all broken.
It gets erect like halfway. It just, you know, there's the possibilities, but as it goes and becomes more mainstream or more popular, you know, you've seen girls come up and it's like, look, I just got this new boob job, and like,
But-
especially our
that's-
circle will be like,
yeah.
oh, that's a good one. I like
But
that
that's
one.
Yeah.
funny. I wanted to
yeah.
ask you that. Do you think that guys would be the same socially about it as girls are? Because girls, I've had many girls that have come up and is like, I just got my boobs done. Look, they feel real. Blah blah.
Yeah, come
I wanna
and
get my
touch
pictures.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it would then be normal. It's like, Ari, guess what surgery I had?
Oh my god. See,
Feel it.
I think that between us though, I think if you got it,
we would
Or-
all ask you to touch
no,
it.
no, No, and then if I got it, I would have been like, bro, I got it. That shit is like bigger.
And because I'm the way that I am, and I'm like a man at heart, I'd be like, dude, can I see? Can I like see what it feels like?
Is there a scar?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a minimal scar right above the pelvic basin, right at the.
Show them.
I'm not ready for that today. And it's easily covered up if the scar is
Oh,
noticeable.
with your hair too.
Yeah,
huh?
you can. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But
Do you think there's like a difference in like women that get their stuff done and men that do that?
No.
You think it's all the same?
I mean, it's,
I think it should be normalized. I don't think that society is going to just automatically accept it or anything, because then, you go from like, oh, you have a small dick, but then like nobody knew that. You're just making the assumption, as opposed to, oh, well, at least I didn't have to have a surgery to get a big dick. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, like I think that men in general are more shamed for stuff like that. Like, guys that are buff. Oh, he's probably on steroids. It's like, well, what if he just diets and exercises all day? You know what I mean? Or, now it's one of those things where it's like, he was self-conscious about his dick, and then they start shaming us because we're doing something about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I still don't understand the whole the way that guys worry about it so much. I think that if you got to a point where you met a girl and then you got her eager enough to go to bed with you, the size of your penis should be the least of your fucking concern.
I think it's hard to do that though, because so many women have made it an issue.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's our fault for giving these men complexes because they're always talking about that shit,
Okay, so let's
I can
say
take accountability for that.
Yeah. So in conclusion, women are at fault for everything. See the violence?
Yeah. So, but the thing is that, okay, so if you're from a woman's standpoint, right? Let's say you like bigger guys with bigger penises.
Let's say I do.
But let's say we don't go as far as like pencil guy.
Yeah.
Right. We go like somewhere in between, like the average, but 5 inch, like 3 to 5 inches.
Yeah.
Right. If you got there enough to get with a guy to be at that position, you're not going to stop him because of the size of his penis.
I will if it's like a one night stand type of a thing. Like, not one night stand, but like if it's like someone that I actually care about and I've built like a connection and an intimacy and a relationship with, then no, I would let that slide, right? But if this is like, oh my God, we're getting hot and heavy and like it's so steamy and like this is gonna be super fucking hot and I have no connection to this guy and it's like wah wah wah, then I'm like, I might stop it.
So if it's something that you made a fantasy about and then he doesn't live up to the fantasy, there's no point in you continuing that. Is that
probably not for me?
Okay.
But I also can't say that. I think it's also dependent on like the situation, the mood, like whatever, because there has been times where the guy was not to my standard, I guess you could say. And it was fine. It was good. It wasn't bad.
I mean, but that's the same as like push-up bras, right? So like I meet a girl and I'm like, dang.
Well, you have the right to say no, though.
No, but I'm not.
But that's because guys are way.
He has the right. He just doesn't have the capability.
Yeah. That's where guys and girls are different. I think like girls and guys don't give a fuck. Like as long as they can get it in.
I'm curious. I'm really curious about this because there's some guys that really like natural girls, whether they have small boobs or big boobs. They just want them to be natural. So, I've heard extreme cases where a guy finds out that a girl had plastic surgery, and then he broke up with her because of that. Now, is this something that you would be offended if it wasn't disclosed to you? Like, like if the guy had the procedure done, would you be like, oh, well, I didn't know that he had that. Now, if we have any boys, we're going to have little dick boys. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think I wouldn't be mad about like that lie per se, but maybe just like him not disclosing something.
Yeah, but you will never know.
If I'll never know, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
I mean, no, but I mean, if you're like, if you're giving him head in the daytime, and then it's like, oh, I'm happy that you're using that manscaping product that I bought for you, but what's this scar?
Right. I
You
think
know?
it might be like, oh, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
You know? But I don't think it would be like a deal breaker.
You're not gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? We're done.
Yeah.
You just pull it out and it's like,
Okay, the size of that scar, it will lend to actually be almost unnoticeable because of the size of it,
yeah.
right? Women's scars tend to be a little bit bigger because you have to get the bigger, what do you call this, bigger bags or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
In them, so it's like they have to stretch it out and get it in there underneath what you know how it is.
Yeah.
But and then for girls, there's years and years of pictures, right? So there's your last year's pictures. Oh, this was last year. Well, what happened to your boobs?
I drank milk.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more noticeable.
Right.
Guys, we don't walk around with just like all of a sudden you're like, hey, wait a second.
Your dick is 2 inches bigger.
Yeah.
Hey. You know what's like this,
2 inches is a lot. Jesus
that's
Christ.
a lot.
That's-
No, honestly, that's like another person's dick. You know,
Holy
like
That's 2 inches to you guys?
2 inches.
Not 2 inches.
No, you guys are going like this.
That is not 2 inches,
Oh.
Pierce. That's like 4.
I've been lying to myself.
So speaking of plastic surgery, that's actually something that I've always wanted to like bring up because the like natural body movement has always been a thing, right? Like even amongst women, like I know some girls that post pictures and they're like, you know,
I don't want to hear this part.
natural bodies, you know, like natural boobs, no plastic surgery, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, it made me feel really ashamed to share the fact that I got my boobs done, you know, and my surgery, my hernia fixed, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it like almost annoys me when people make it such a big issue because I shouldn't be ashamed of the fact that I fixed things because my body got tore up as a mother. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, but I felt so ashamed that people were going to call me fake, you know, or that they were going to say like, oh, like for example, I got like a lot of passive aggressive comments after like I got my boobs like fixed and I got my hernia fixed because I wore tighter clothes, you know, and they'd be like, oh, how'd you maintain such nice boobs all this time? Like, and I knew these were women that were like giving sideways comments, trying to figure out if I got my tits done,
Yeah,
you know?
you said I just got it done.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I said, "Oh yeah, I got it done." Or like, "Oh, like didn't you get a tummy tuck? Like, isn't that why you're skinny?" You know? And it's like, well, no, my hernia got fixed, but like, I guess that's what you if you want to discredit everything I went through to get it fixed. You know what I mean?
It's funny
Like,
if they say something like that,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, so you clearly know how to fix your body, but you want to shame me for doing it?
right. So
Weird flex, homie.
I mean, that's the thing. For the longest time, I like never wanted to tell people like, oh my God, I got my boobs lifted and then I got my hernia like tucked in because like I would hear all these women always like talking down on other women via social media like, oh, you know, well, she fucking paid for that shit, you know, blah,
Who
blah, blah.
cares?
Yeah, who cares? I mean,
It's so dumb. Like, okay, this is really weird for me to say because I don't feel like I lived up to it, but this actually happened to me. Somebody was like, "Oh, you've changed a lot since high school," and I was like, "Well, yeah, that was half my life ago." And then they're like, "Oh, what are you doing now?" And I tell them and stuff, and it's like, "Well, I'd probably look like that too if I went to the gym every day." I was like, "So clearly, you know how to fix your shitty body,
Yeah,
and you're gonna shame me for doing it."
right.
yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good way to put
It's
it. Because
really
it's like they
weird.
could do it too if they
Yeah.
really wanted to. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. It's like, oh, if I dieted, I would look like that too. It's like, then fucking diet.
Yeah.
You know, stop complaining to me about it. You know,
Yeah.
oh, if I practice DJing, I'd be good at it. And it's like, then practice DJing. Well,
I had a couple people even say though, like, I think that's what really made me feel like almost some type of way about it. Say like, well, the money that you got done, like, man, the things that you could get for your kids, or like, don't you think it's a little bit selfish to spend that much on yourself? And it took a lot out of me to be like, well, no, fuck you, because you know, like, this is my hard earned money,
Yeah.
you know, and my kids are fucking very well taken care of.
Exactly.
You know,
and
like,
did you mention that you're starting an OnlyFans, which is gonna bring you revenue?
that part? No, just
There-
kidding.
No, here's the thing too. It's like, look, people always like, you know, you spend money on your kids. You know how much it is to how much it costs to raise a kid.
Right.
Is it?
A bajillion dollars.
Those brats get enough fucking
Right?
shit. All right, I spend hundreds and not thousands of dollars fucking on Christmas presents.
Plus, she has 2 boys. What are they gonna do with fake tits?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Stupid.
Stupid.
but I think that, you know, like, you know, bigger boobs or, you know, surgery and cosmetic surgery and that, I think it's just becoming more acceptable, similar to tattoos. Remember for a longest time, like girls would be like, oh my God, I'd never get tattoos. And now you see girls walk around sleeves.
Yeah.
And
Like
I think that's so sexy though. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
I love
finally, I love it. And it's like, you know, I think that as time goes on, it just becomes the norm. And listen, I was always a proponent of it, and it's about time y'all catch up.
So, with that said, I want to be a trendsetter. So, not only am I going to get that surgery, I'm also going to get a sleeve.
On his
There you go.
sleeved, longer schlong.
Yep.
Yes. I'm just gonna have it where it goes before, like it's just like a line. What's that line for? That's where it was before. That's where it stopped before.
That's
It's like
so
it's like a height chart, you know, like the little thing you have at home.
Oh, yeah.
1995. That's how tall. Well, mine stopped at like 1991.
Oh my
Still the same, but
Okay, so I have to admit though, this is where it's a little bit like double standard, like, bitch, you're fucking stupid. Like, for me, I'm all about like be you, like whether you want to be natural or like get
Right.
surgery, I'm super for that. But I'm not gonna lie, I do get a little annoyed when like guys ask me or girls have asked me if I got my butt done. Because I'm like, man, this is real, you
Yeah,
know?
well-
So that bothers me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. So when I see these girls that have like their ass is hella done, I don't know why it bothers me, but like boobs don't bother me like at all, you know? Because I'm like, man, I used to be special. Now I'm not special no more.
But you know what? This is the thing, though, is like I love boobs, but I've come to appreciate ass more because I've noticed that a girl can work for her ass at the gym and nachos, whereas like no matter what you work out or eat, you can't grow your boobs proportionally.
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean? So
See?
so it's one of those things where it's like, okay,
That.
because you have control over what your butt looks like, I appreciate that more. But I still like boobies.
What men doesn't though, you know?
gay men.
True.
Well, I mean, they can appreciate it.
So
Yeah.
so I have a question. It's similar. It's not exactly on topic, but it's kind of on topic.
Well, that's what we do though. So it's all good.
So here's the thing. Like, how many of your friends openly know or that you know have vibrators?
Every single one of my girlfriends.
Exactly. Okay.
Every single one.
But I'm curious, if there's a sex robot, would you judge a guy for getting one? Which is essentially the same thing.
Well, that's
And
like
so-
a pocket
and-
pussy, right?
Right, a fleshlight.
Well, yeah. So my question is this: is that now because the gender is reversed, now that we can enhance,
Your penis.
yeah, now that we can get this surgery, is that going to be something that's going to be, you know, looked at as a shame thing? Because like I don't know if any of my homeboys have a pocket pussy. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's like, why would that be socially weird? Whereas every girl that I know,
Has a dildo or vibrator.
yeah.
That's
At
actually
least
a really,
one.
really good point. That's
Yeah.
a really good point.
But so here's the thing too, though. So like everybody has their own likes, right? They all have their own preference. So here you have like, let's say, I didn't think this is where you start getting brainwashed by like the porn and the adult industry. It's like some guys is going to think that they need like the 10, 11, maybe 12 incher. The problem is that now you're also depleting half the pool of women that would want you, because not everybody wants a 13-inch cock in them,
right.
right? So some girls are like, oh, I'm okay with a 5 to 6. I get more pleasure from that.
So some girls wouldn't even want it. if
Yeah,
you
so
got
some
that.
girls see it and they go, "Oh hell no!" You know, you're not putting that in me. You know,
There's definitely girls like that,
You know,
for
sure.
you know what I mean. And at that point, what is your sexual experience? Is yeah, you might be doing it, but if she's continuously pushing you back, putting her hand up against your thigh to kind of keep you from
All
doing
the
what you
way
got,
in.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
way in. You're also you're now creating a different type of like not stigma, but creating another type of hurdle you have to hurdle, right? You have to jump over. So sometimes it's like, you know, there's always a plus and a minus of things, but it's not necessarily not every girl that you're going to be with wants you to have fucking
10-inch
you know,
dick.
Mr.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Marcus size.
Ladies, mine has never been described as intimidating.
How about you? Intimidating?
Huh?
Yours is intimidating.
I just don't think that's been described.
Yeah.
Do you guys have names for your things? Nicknames?
No,
Princess Thor.
Princess Thor.
No. I don't even name my car. I don't get why. Okay, that's another red flag when a girl names her car, but it's stock. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever named my car. But that's a thing though, right?
Yeah, like when I got my car, or like when the recent car, the Lexus, like my girlfriend at the time, she was all like, "Oh, what are you gonna call it?" And I was like, "Alexis."
Oh, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's
Is
cute.
it the same girl with the vanity plates?
Yep.
That's why
Yeah.
you had to think about that, right? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how girls can get the vaginal rejuvenation surgery?
Uh-huh.
Would you guys want that, or would you want it to be like
I don't care.
you really don't think it matters?
I don't really care. Like you guys, people, the media, everybody makes such a big deal out of like fixing your shit.
Okay, so like
This is the thing. It's kind of like if you were in the NBA and you won the championship.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I'm going to bring this trophy home and I'm going to have it painted. No, just accept the trophy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
okay, so for example, there's these injections that you can get as a girl, right, to help you kind of bring back the same hormones that make you super wet down there when
Okay.
you get older.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Would you consider that like that's pointless too?
That's functional,
That's
though.
functional though, because I mean,
Okay.
if you are intimate with somebody and you don't get the same vaginal secretions as before, and you're dry,
So the tightness
fucking hurts.
matters not as the wetness. Because you're saying that the surgery is stupid and pointless, the rejuvenation, but the wetness thing you would be for.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah, if
I'm putting it in. Like I don't like. There's never been a point in my life when I've been with a girl and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's not as tight as I want it to be. I'm gonna stop. It doesn't work.
Well, that's
that
why
way.
I'm asking, because you say that the wetness makes a difference. So
Well, the
would one
wetness makes a
surgery make more sense than the other.
The wetness makes
know?
a difference because if she's not well lubricated down there, it hurts
Right.
for both parties.
for both.
Right.
The tightness does not. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not.
Okay, so you've proved my point, which is why I was asking. Like, one surgery is to you is deemed as like fucking who cares, like how tight
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
17 kids or 0 kids, who cares?
Yeah.
But the lubrication factor, that surgery or procedure would make a difference.
I encourage that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
That
definitely
was the
say that because
question,
that's also part of your health too.
Yeah, that's
know.
true.
I mean, you don't.
So it
you
goes
don't,
deeper than cosmetic, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to get cut up and burns and infections and things like that happen down there. It just.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but So it just basically for medical safety and then the safety of your health and whatever safety.
Okay.
Yeah, health first, and then if for some reason like it was preventing pleasure, then yeah, whatever. Like if I've never been with a girl and been like, I could do the same thing with this RB sandwich in my refrigerator. No, it's never been that bad,
Yeah.
But like if for some reason that it gets to the point where it's preventing like pleasure or by doing the procedure is going to increase it or have some kind of functionality, then yes, go ahead, do your thing. But to be honest with you, we're just happy we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys are very simple. I'm learning from these two.
Yeah.
Just get it in, finish. They are happy. Men are easy.
We are. I wouldn't say we're easy. I say we're simple.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's a better word.
Yeah.
More positive.
Because
connotation.
sometimes guys are hypocrites, right? Like they'll sit there and they'll jerk off to somebody with like the D's, then tell you that they don't like girls, that they only like natural girls. Well, I'm like, well,
Why are you jerking off to a girl with these on the
yeah, and it's like I want my girl to look and feel beautiful. If that's what she has to do to feel beautiful, so I'll be 100% supportive of her.
Yeah.
And that should be the end of the story. That shouldn't be like, oh no, it's, you know, I don't like it that way, so blah 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 blah. But guess what? Even if you are in a committed, even married marriage, you still have to think about her feelings, right? So if she's feeling lacking in that sense, and this is something that's gonna, like, basically like stop you know, like her, like increase and improve her mental state, so be it. Then do it.
I have a question about this. Okay, so let's say you're in a relationship and you tell your man, babe, I think I want to get boobs. What is the best way for, what do you want to hear from us? Because I don't see any nice way to say it. You know, like, oh, I love you the way that you are, but then you still feel self-conscious. Or, yeah, babe, whatever you want. And it's like, oh, so you think my boob should be bigger. It's like, there's no winning.
I really think it's like there's nothing you can say because it really depends on the woman's state of mind. You know what I mean? Like you said, you could say it in the most kindest way. You can agree with her, disagree with her. At the end of the day, if she's feeling her own insecurity, no matter what you say, it's still going to be there, you know? So I guess the short answer to that is there is no right answer because it really depends on where she is in her mind, you know?
So since we're going to be wrong anyways, is an acceptable train of thought to be like, okay, well, if you feel that way, let's watch all of these porns that I bookmarked and you tell me which one that we should be saving for.
I mean, that might fly with a very awesome girl, so you never know.
You know, Vince brings up a good point, though. It's like, you know, sometimes you do want to, you just don't do it blindly. You just don't, you know, like as I said, you know, if it improves our mental state, go for it. But realistically, you want to sit there and you want to kind of figure out like what's going on, like what is it? Because sometimes it first comes to boobs, then you want to get your nose done, your eyes done. You want to get these fucking like nasty looking lip injections, you know, the Botox, and it looks like you're fucking like you basically like have an allergy.
Yeah.
Should I give you some Benadryl?
Yeah.
You know, it can develop into something like that, and that's what Ari means by saying, if there's some sort of insecurities there, there's no way for you to stop it. It's the same way how like celebrities, you can't stop them from getting surgeries, even though like damn, she was hot before. Right. I don't know why she got her nose done and her cheeks done and her like that.
You're talking about Lil' Kim?
Yeah, like
she's
Lil'
definitely
Kim.
one of them.
Yeah, she's definitely one of them. Now she looks like her face is just round.
Right.
Like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked like she's gonna hibernate. Like she's storing a lot of like
food. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you want to get to that point where you're like, okay, well, you know, obviously if she's getting like the Botox surgeries and things like that, you're kind of going,
something's deeper.
Something's deeper than that. You do want to, you know, get consultation, just figure out what's going on. And if it, you know, and again, but at the end of the day, if she wants to get it done, she's gonna get it done, and that's always gonna be something in the back of her mind, and that's gonna put a strain in your relationship. So you're kind of like, you're in a lose-lose situation.
Right. That's kind of at the end of the day, that's the reality of it. It's gonna be really what she wants to do and how she feels. But I'm really glad that you bring up the whole like mental state thing, because that's something that I experienced. I feel like there's like a hair on me.
Sorry about that.
Because, okay, so for those of you that don't know, I have 4 kids, right? All of my kids were breastfed. And then on top of that, I developed a very bad umbilical cord hernia and a very, very severe form of diastasis recti, however you pronounce it. And
wait, you have to get dialysis on your rectum?
Yep. So that's what that is.
I thought I was the only one. Shit.
But I remember like I wanted to get surgery, but I felt so like ashamed about it, you know, because I'm like, oh my God, this is so like cosmetic surgery, like, because it wasn't approved by insurance, even though I had like all these medical complications because of it, it wasn't approved. So I like that you're talking about the mental state, because to also answer your question, like that's probably the best thing that my husband could have done in that time is I was guilting myself, telling myself like, no, we can't afford it. You know, if it's not being approved by insurance, there must be a reason for it. And I'm selfish if I get the surgery done. And he literally had to like present to me like, hey, listen, your you don't even feel like yourself in your own skin right now. It's affecting your mental state. Like, fuck what you think people are going to perceive it as. If this helps you as a person, if this helps your mental state, like, I'm for it. Whether you stay like this or whether you get the surgery, it doesn't matter as long as you're mentally feeling okay, you know?
That kind of scares me too, is because once you start down one path, where do you draw the line? So I think that it should definitely be something that should be addressed, and maybe seeing a therapist about stuff. Yeah. Because like I talk about my coach a lot. His physique is just up there, right? But he keeps on telling me, dude, do I look fat? Do I look... I was like, bro, you have an 8-pack and you're not even on peak week. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like you
almost develop a complex kind of.
Yeah, and you have body dysmorphia, and it's like, okay, well, you know, like let's take me for example. I know that I'm not as skinny as I used to be, but then I still feel like the skinny person in the room. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on now? So what do I do? Like, let's say my next step was like, oh, okay, steroids. It's like, is that healthy? Or I guess SARMs or whatever's.
Yeah.
The next
so
steps.
SARMs, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, I get all jacked and everything. But then at the same time, like, because it was a slow progression and I'm not where my peers are, because they've been doing this for 10 years and I've only been doing it for a couple. It's like, oh, I need to get bigger. So now I need to go get steroids. And then after that, it's like, oh, dude, I'm never going to be this big. So might as well get that oil injection shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like
synthol.
Yeah, synthol. Yeah. So it's like, it's really scary for me to have this as an option. Only because, like, okay, once that gets done, it's like, oh, what's the next step? You know?
I totally can relate to that, because I think that's also why I held out for so long, is I wanted to be sure that it was really a health thing. Like my hernia, I wanted that fixed, and it just so... Basically, they gave me a package for a cheaper price. You know, like this doctor that I dealt with was like, listen, I know that these hernia surgeries are not covered, and you've mentioned you wanted to get your boobs done. Let's just give you a mommy makeover, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of was like killing two birds with one stone, even though I didn't want the cosmetic surgery. It was just the boobs were like, hey, if you throw in the boobs, it's going to be even cheaper. It was like a package deal, you know? So for me, like, I think that's where I had to draw the line, was like, okay, I'm fucking physically feeling like bad. Like I started to have like hemorrhaging, like all this crazy shit because of my hernia, right? So I was like, okay, now it's a necessity. But then once the boobs were thrown in, I felt like I was like, fucking,
just fucking do it.
Just like fucking do that shit. But then any further than that, that's when I was like, okay, if I do anything more, there's no reason behind it. So that's where I'm like, now I'm crossing this line if I were to do more, you know?
I think one of the biggest issues we have is Instagram, like social media, right? Like Vince always talks about, like, you know, his coach, but then, you know, I also look at, you know, other people that are on Instagram and similar to like fitness pros and whatever, and I'm watching it and I'm going, there's no way that guy walks around his body looking like that naturally. You know what I mean? So there's always like to uphold an image, you have to do something not natural. Like you don't walk around like at 1% body fat,
right?
You know, throughout the year, or look that ripped and cut and tell me, oh, I'm 100% natural. I'll go, because you have bullshit. There's no way in the off season when you're not cutting, you should not look like that. You should look how like I look,
like a normal person.
like a normal person. And then when it comes to the season, I get it. But again, you know, it's like when we're trying to uphold the image, or we're trying to match that image, that's when you start like getting this done and that done. Oh, look, I need lips like Kylie. I need, you know what? Like this, like in Korea, double eyelid surgery is like common. Because they think it makes your eyes bigger. Right. So it's like, you know, 18th birthday, graduation gift. Hey, guess what? Double eyelid surgery.
That's so crazy. Face surgery, okay, you guys can call me a hypocrite, whatever, because I've gotten other shit done. But for me, the face is like where I draw the line. Like I could never, I mean, knock on wood that I will never have to. I'm like, God, don't ever test me, please. But like, I think it's like really crazy when you start to mess with like eye shape and your mouth shape and things like that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, there's
no turning back.
Speaking of that, there's this thing that I'm going through, where I've gone through. It's like one of my eyelids. It's just like natural, like not genetics, but like natural as you get older. they lose the muscle strength. So like in some pictures, one of my eyes.
Oh,
is
mine
always
does
smaller.
that too. Yeah.
You can actually get like surgery to actually lift that.
Yeah.
So so something said like
Something like that.
Like,
Yeah.
so you putting a tens unit on it.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But like I think about that, I'm like, but is it something that eats me up? No, but it's like you look at it, and go, yeah.
I think I'm speaking more to like facial reconstructive surgery. You
Like
know?
getting like the rhinoplasty.
Yeah,
and then
like it just scares me because, for example, one of the girls that I worked with, beautiful girl, she was this mixed Asian and black girl, and she got her nose done because she had a very like African American nose, like the wide, like
the Filipino nose
yeah,
too.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
So she got the worst of both worlds.
yes, exactly. So she kept getting.
It's
it
not
done.
an average; it's an addition.
Yeah.
To it. Yeah.
Well, and the fucked up thing is she got her nose done 3 times, over and over and over again, and it still looks the same.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and no matter what, she was never happy. You know, that's why she kept going back and forth. That's why I'm like, when it comes to like that, like the doctor had even told her, the third one was like, I don't know if you want to do this again because you keep trying to make it smaller, and this is the smaller it's going to get. It's going to get to a point where you can't even breathe out of your nose anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
And see, that's why this surgery would scare me for like most guys, because it's already hard for us because we don't normalize guys talking about problems.
Yeah.
So like if like the guy, let's say he does the surgery, but then he feels like it's not big enough and he's gonna do it again, or if he thinks that like I don't want it to be one of those what are they called cigarettes and marijuana, it's a
Addiction.
no, it's a
Gateway
Vice.
drug.
gateway drug. Yeah, so it's like a gateway into like other things where it's like, dude, you could just stop doing this or
Right.
whatever, so and I'm afraid that with the lack of support for men's mental health, it will snowball into just this downward spiral for a lot of guys, and people just don't know about it.
I mean,
So,
it's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's the thing about all of this new technology when it comes to like surgery and like beauty and things like that. It just
Yeah.
kind of like opens this world up to more people of what they could be than being happy with what they already are,
yeah.
So I definitely agree with you on that.
But okay, so let me play the devil's advocate.
I like when you do this. Let's
so-
go.
So when you look at the history of penises and why, I think we've discussed it, why girls tend to always want the bigger penis, or it's looked as something, as a goal, I guess.
Right.
And the same thing with
Hips.
hips. It's all about like being able to procreate, right?
Right.
Essentially,
Even subconsciously.
subconsciously, the bigger penis will, that should be the one that will get you pregnant.
Right.
The childbearing hips, she's able to carry a child.
Right.
So, a lot of times guys feel ashamed because of the size of their penis might not necessarily be on that level, like let's say alpha male level.
Right.
With this surgery though, now everybody's on an even playing field. Everybody got 8-inch dicks, right? Me and everybody else in my circle have 8-inch or longer, right? So at that point, you think that it opens up the conversations where guys are just easily like, look at my fucking, this is my dick.
Yeah.
That's how, you know what I mean? Where it's no longer
taboo
to talk about it, because at that point you're not necessarily ashamed to just fucking pull
almost
it
like-
out and show it.
kind of like what you said about girls' boobs. Like now girls are just like, hey, look at my tits.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like, So it'd
exactly.
be the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
But
does.
I'm saying that's going to take a long time for it to
Right.
progress to that way. Similar to tattoos. At one point, nobody wanted to get a tattoo, and everybody starts small. Like they want to get that fucking stupid Pamela Anderson barbed wire, or the tribal band or whatever. Now
Yeah.
they got the full sleeves. But I just think sometimes there could be some positives involved where now it opens up the door for
us to show each other our penises.
yeah. That,
I mean, that's the best part.
Yeah, that and also just like again, if you really feel insecure about your penis, especially if you have what do they call those the micro penises?
Oh yeah.
Then then do it.
Yeah.
Then do it. I mean, if you really feel as though you need extra 2 inches to get a girl, then do it. But I guarantee you though, even if you're at a 3-inch or maybe a 3-inch placid, 5-inch, fully erect. If you can get a girl, you can get a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what size your penis is.
Yep.
But because again, it goes back to, again, I'm gonna say, I've have friends that have like, they're like,
There's always going to be a girl out there that's okay with the size of your dick.
yes,
So there might be girls that prefer larger dicks, but there's also girls that are okay with smaller dicks, and that girl is out there for you.
Point her my way.
So general consensus is it's an interesting new surgery. We're open to it because we're very open-minded people, but we also all agree, right, that it's kind of like you have to have the right mentality to receive any type of these cosmetic surgeries.
I mean,
Yeah. I don't, to be honest with you, I've talked to some people that think that I'm mature and strong, but honestly, I don't even think that I would be able to mentally handle it, only because the normal shit that happens in my daily life, I have a hard time talking about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't know that I'm very socially awkward. I have a hard time talking to people, but then, aside from our fictitious or hypothetical audience, you guys are the only ones that know this now, because I don't like talking about that. Like, I always second guess myself every time I get on turntables. Every time I pick up a camera, I'm hoping that I can give the client something that lives up to their expectations. Like, yeah, I own studio, but then like the stresses of upkeep and paying the bills, I don't share that with anybody. So to have an additional, aside from the body dysmorphia I already have, and then like finding a shortcut to get out of that body dysmorphia, only to have it expand into like so many other things.
literally.
You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying? It's like it's something that you guys don't look at it as, oh, a quick answer. No, like really, really,
Think about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if possible, talk to people about it.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think guys just have to be, just don't worry about it. Like, you guys make such a big deal about the size of their fucking dicks.
Okay, so all jokes aside, I always talk about how I like big dicks on here, right? Like, I've had many shows on here where I sound like a hoe and I hate it because that's not the case. But yes, like, honestly speaking, as a woman that's openly talked about, like, yeah, obviously, like, every girl wants a guy that's got a little bit larger of a dick, right? But it really doesn't matter. Like, you guys are right. At the end of the day, like, I've been with guys that are not huge, and if they know what they're doing, it doesn't make a difference. If the chemistry is there, it doesn't make a difference.
I think, I don't know if this is common or if this is the right train of thought, but if a girl had a choice between one or the other, she would take a guy with big dick energy over a guy with a big dick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I can definitely agree with that for sure.
And if you can get a girl, and look, and if a girl tells you, if a girl's saying like, oh, he's a perfect guy, he's mature, he's financially secure, he's courteous, my parents love him, but I can't continue to date him because of the size of his dick. Well, that's her fucking loss.
Yeah, that's her problem.
Fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Of all
Right?
the things that you're gonna pick out because we get along and then we have a future together, is that? Then I could also go around and pick out. Look, it's the same. Okay, it's the same thing as this. You ever met a girl that's like you thought was hot, right? Then you start dating, and then because you see her every day, you start picking out like the shit that just doesn't make sense. Oh, like why is one boob bigger than the other?
No, okay.
Why is her nipple like a different color?
There was a girl.
You know what I mean? Like I when I first saw her, they looked like animal crackers. Now they look like chocolate chips.
There was a girl. I'm gonna regret saying this, but she was gorgeous. She was very fit. She was very respectful. She was courteous. She put me first. Her finances were in check. And she represented me really well. Like never embarrassed me, always hyped me up and stuff like that. But her dick was bigger than mine. And I couldn't get over that. Otherwise, she would have been perfect.
It would have been the one.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
Thailand,
waiting.
man.
I'm just waiting for the penis reduction surgery that I need.
So, how would you guys feel if your significant other approached you requesting that surgery?
will she pay for it? First off, will
Yes.
she pay for it?
Will she pay for it, and I don't have to actually shoulder the burden of her losing $15,000?
Yeah.
Because at this point right now, I'm like thinking, look, I don't want it. I don't want the surgery. But if you're wanting me to get it, I'm not coming out of pocket for it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if
Definitely.
I right now, and I've said this before, I have a 0% success rate with my relationships, or I am a 100% failure when it comes to relationships. So there is a good chance that we may not end up together. Now I'm just stuck with this gigantic dick. Like,
Or
have
me and my
sympathy for me.
gigantic
Yeah.
dick. So you would if she was going to fit the bill.
Well, that's the first part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
so here's the question. Okay, so like the penis is different from the boob jobs because a lot of times the boob is boobs are basically more visual,
Right.
right? You never see a guy walking around with just his dick
Hanging his dick out, yeah.
And so obviously it's more performance based. It's pleasure based. If a girl asks you to do it.
Right.
So what was wrong with it before?
Maybe the pleasure was lacking because it's not reaching all the way to her spot. I don't know.
yeah, her G spot for some reason is
It's like-
behind her belly button.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
what
I
the
mean,
fuck?
some girls like it like that, I guess. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
but they
in this
like-
hypothetical situation,
You know,
let's say that.
yeah, they like it like that.
Like,
but
babe,
my,
I love you, but can you split me in half?
But
Yeah.
my question is still like, what was wrong with it before? Like, I would gladly do it for you as long as, as Vince said, I don't come out of pocket for it. But the question is that,
So what if that was her answer? So this is a hypothetical situation. What if that's what she said? Well, you know what, babe? Like, it just is not big enough, and I just want it a little bit longer. Like, if that was
are we
just-
married?
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. Like, if we're married. But like, again, you have, again,
So you would consider her feelings.
well, you're talking to me. Like, a lot of guys would really be hurt by that.
You think they'd be like...
They'd be
yeah.
Look, the minute you talk about some
Pride.
other dude's fucking dick and tell them it's not big enough, well, you're gonna ruin the whole the whole fucking world. If they're not mentally secure to go, fuck, what was wrong? That's why I'm asking, what was wrong with it before? Because that's the question that they're gonna ask.
Yeah.
They're gonna ask, what was wrong with it before? And at that point, they're gonna doubt everything else. Everything else that happens from that point on, they're gonna doubt.
That makes sense.
They're gonna doubt. They're gonna be so subconscious about that thing that everything now is gonna be like, every argument is gonna be, oh, so similar to this, it's not good enough. Why didn't you tell me? Like, what else is not good enough for you?
So do you think it goes the other way around too? That
Oh, definitely.
It's not right for a guy to ask a girl to do a procedure on herself.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I would never, if I was with a girl and let's say she had, like, let's say B cups, and then, but I prefer, like mid C's to upper to lower D's or whatever, I would never be like, maybe you should get a boob job because I'm mentally and physically invested in her already.
Yeah, but that's another difference between guys and girls is girls look at us as projects and guys don't look at girls as projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, we may look at a stripper and say like, oh, I make enough money to take her out of this life, but then I'm not going to be like, oh, if I date her and then she sees how much I go to the gym or the type of diet that I'm on, or if she, notices that I know sign language or some shit like that, she'll pick up on that too. No, we don't look at girls as a project like that. Whereas, like I've heard other girls is like, oh yeah, he physically like abuses me, but he'll get past that. Or, like, oh, he's been working at this particular place, flipping burgers or whatever for the past 10 years, but I think that he might become a manager soon. It's like,
Yeah.
I've seen so many girls look at guys as projects,
Yeah.
and guys don't look at girls as projects.
Most guys.
No, most guys, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have to be more secure in yourself. I've seen some hot girls with some really like questionable looking dudes. Like, oh, this like hot girl, and the next thing you know, the boyfriend they're at is like this portly like dude, and it's like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't match. But a lot of times it's about your personality also. But I think
Yeah.
we have this like preconceived notion of what we have to look like to get that girl. We're not really tuning into how that girl is seeing us as who we are.
Yeah, look, like this.
Like that episode of
I-
Kung Fu that we were watching. Remember that one?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we gonna explain
This
that?
is no. You guys just gotta watch it. It's a weird series that I don't even watch, but I listen.
I'll
to
explain it
in the
after
background.
Vince goes.
Look, check this out. The guys, if you have any takeaway, use me as an example. I know I ain't shit, but I'm fucking good at it.
And whatever it is.
No, I mean like not being shit.
Oh, okay.
I might be whack, but I'm good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, top level whackness.
Yeah.
Top level bad sex.
Yep, there you go.
From the previous episode, listen to it.
Yeah.
No, so this Kung Fu episode, this was really pretty girl. And the guy was kind of like subconscious about himself, about trying to prove himself to her.
Self-conscious.
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 Sorry,
Yeah.
self-conscious about being with her. Like he was trying to prove things to win her approval. And he brought up the fact that, you know, when they met up in high school, he was just geeky kid that, you know, he was like saying, whenever you walk by and said hi to me, that might have been just a regular day for you, but that was the whole day for me. It made my whole day. And he was like, there's no way in my mind that I would have ever thought about, you know, somebody like you liking me. And she turned around, she's like, I liked you because of who you are, who you were, the geekiness, the everything else. It's not about like your looks or whatever. It was about the attachment you have to that person, like what they do.
Yeah.
So sometimes like guys, we kind of like fall into this whole like, yeah, if I was to date like this girl with her big boobs and the way she dresses, you have to kind of match like fucking some Dawn or whatever.
Oh, that's a better point. Instead of this dumb shit that I said like a couple minutes ago. Stop trying to be good enough for the girl. You know, just be good enough for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically it. Because I think that was the line. He was like, I'm afraid that you're going to realize that I'm not good enough for you or something like that,
Yes.
right? Yeah, because of the orange BMW episode, right?
Yeah. That's why you fix yourself first, guys. Fix yourself
Yeah.
first. And I can remember you should go back to this episode. I always say fix yourself first in any relationship. And once you're done with that, you'll be straight. You'll be okay.
Yeah, and fix yourself for you, not for her. Because like if you try to be better at certain thing because you know she likes it, you're never gonna be good enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you start doing stuff for yourself, you're gonna be good enough for yourself, and that's the only person that you need to be good enough for.
Yep. Because if you fix yourself for yourself, if it fixes this relationship, all well and good. But if it doesn't, you prepared yourself for the next one, and now you're better. You're not building the same house with the same habits, the same stones. And that's why people are always like, I can't believe this guy, every guy I know has cheated on me. Well, you're the common denominator. Maybe you should work on yourself to find out why every guy's cheated on you.
I need to figure out my stones. I guess. Damn it, stones. These old stones I keep building bricks with.
But no, yeah, I think if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. It's a weird flex though. Like, hey, I got 2 more inches today.
My dick is fake.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we don't walk around with it, so hey, listen.
I wonder if it feels real because, like, that's the thing with like
So
fake boobs.
don't
You
worry,
know, it's
don't
like
worry. when I get it,
Yeah.
we'll film it. For
I'm
your
like
own-
I'm like legit. Like, if you guys get it, I'm legit gonna ask to touch it.
you'll film it for your OnlyFans, like touching touching the new dicks.
What are they called again?
Pneuma.
Pneuma dicks.
Yo, I'm gonna get a pneumatic dick. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's
Oh my god! It's all hydraulics.
Yep.
yeah.
There's
no,
1,000 psi in this dick.
This is why people like us don't do that as a job because we would be like, oh, we should try this.
Listen, just fucking do it. Like I've been with enough girls to know that my size works well enough, at least for me.
Yeah, my dick's pretty big too, guys.
Hey, I'm telling you. I mean, like, hey,
I have the biggest
if a
dick here.
if a girl doesn't like me because of the size of my dick, well, then so be it. There's
On to
more,
the next.
on to the next.
All right, guys. So be safe when you get dick surgery.
Yeah, I don't know what
Send us pictures.
Yeah, send us pictures. Send Ari pictures.
Let us know how it is.
I think God gave me a small dick so that I get a girl that's genuine.
We're gonna clip that. I think God gave me a small dick so I get a girl that's genuine. We're gonna clip that.
Yep.
Yep, we're
That's because people are gonna be like, we need to watch this episode. All right,
It's
guys.
been a while since you guys said clip that to me, and I'm kind of surprised that was the reason why you said that. I'll live up to it, though.
Do you have anything else to say on? Oh, did that turn off? Oh no. Okay. Electronical dicks. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
just hey, do you, boo boo?
Do you be safe? Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt anyone. Live life. YOLO.
And don't get it done for the sake of for somebody else.
That's what I was gonna say.
Do
for
it
someone
do
else.
it for yourself. If you want to do it. Hey, and good luck on your porn fucking career.
I know, right? All right, you guys. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Be Uplifted. We will catch you on the next one.
Bye. Fuck those kids.
Fuck those kids.